Hello everybody and welcome back to our Farming Simulator 25 map guide. Today we're going to be taking a look at Kansas 16X. But before that, this video is brought to you by Rasnack and Gizmo UK. Thank you for being farm barons. So the Kansas 16X map can be found at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game downloadable content menu. And as of the 1.0 release, this map is available for PC and Mac players only. Now, I don't see this ever making its way to console because, well, we've yet to see a 4X map get released and stay released on console. And I do believe the reason for that is file size of the game save, even if you haven't made any changes. The 16X map is substantially larger than a 4X map, 4 times, by the way. And as such, its file size for its game save is also significantly larger. And I think there would be way too many sacrifices that would need to be made in order to bring something this big to console. Now let me go ahead and read you some of the description. Welcome to the vast lands of Kansas. This is a huge 16X map, offers a perfect experience for large-scale farming operations with its vast fields reminiscent of the endless farmlands of Kansas. Grow your giant farms by cultivating endless lands, pushing the boundaries of agriculture, and maximizing your production. Whether alone or with friends, this map offers great opportunity for farmers of all levels. Are you ready for a new farming adventure? Jump into your tractor now and start ruling this vast land that is reminiscent of Kansas. I hope you enjoy it. Well, I think he said Kansas enough in that part of the description. On this map, you'll find 2 pre-placed farms, the main farm that you own at the beginning and the other farm with silos. 3 farms that you must purchase land to use. The main 2 farms with starting vehicles and equipment will have 1 large field with garages and silos. The lands that you'll first purchase will have a cow barn, sheep barn, and pig barn. There's a total of 5,212 hectares available on this map. 20 farm plots, 15 are extremely large, 4 fields of grass. There's a BGA, traffic, pedestrians, animal dealer. There's also several productions available on the map. Now, this map does have 14 required mods. Those required mods are the American Midwest Maintenance Shop, American Midwest Cold Storage, Package Mega Silo, Big Metal Shed, Small American Metal Haul, American Midwest Fertilizer Shed, Big Storage, Shop with Storage, Shed with Extra Wide Doors, Lizard Cow Barns, Chicken Coop, BR, Pig Fattening, Shed with double sides. Now, after we factor in the size of the map itself and the required mods, we're looking at a total download size of 645 megabytes. Let's jump back over here to the map. This map does include all the standard crops available to us in Farm Sim 25, including onions, should you have Highlands Fishing activated. Now, I would show you the soil map, but I don't know if there's a problem with precision farming and 16X maps in general, or just this map. But I can tell you that if I run the command to expose the soil map, I'll get a bunch of errors in the log. If I go and choose to buy, for example, the soil information here, I'll get a bunch of errors in the log. And the soil map will never actually appear. So to that end, I would say if you want to play with precision farming, then don't play this map. If you do want to play this map, then deactivate precision farming because something's going on here. It may be the size of the map itself, or it may be the map that's causing these precision farming issues. But it is using the generic soil map that is a part of the precision farming mod. It does not have a custom soil map built in. With respect to our crop counter, we are looking at a standard FS25 crop counter on this map. We do start out by owning chickens, sheep, cows, and pigs at that secondary farm. We do have contracts available on the map, and well, since these fields are huge, they are going to pay out big time. For example, here we can earn $2 million just for fertilizing a mere 2,900 acres of crop. Don't know how much that's going to cost you in fertilizer, but I think you're going to reap a pretty good reward in the end. We have 10 different productions available on the map. We have bakery, BGA, canning factory, carpentry, cement factory, cooper, grain mill, oil mill, rope maker, and tailor. In addition to that, we have 7 different sell points scattered around the map itself. This map does not have any collectibles, and we do have 1 construction mission in that we have access to the grain elevator. And with respect to the grain elevator, well, we're going to need to bring 36,000 wooden beams, 48,000 planks, 72,000 long planks, 12,000 roof plates, 12,000 prefab walls, 6,000 bags of cement, and 6,000 cement bricks. Now let's take a look at our starting equipment. We have the New Holland T7 300 and the Case IH Puma 260 CVX drive medium tractors. We've got the Flegel Rudy 2000 sugar beet cutter bucket. And then we have the Bale King bale grab. We also have our Hauer XB 190. We have a pair of those for front loader arms. We have the Krone GX 520 trailer and the Brandner TR 34090/2 PT Plus trailer. We've got the Somers Super Chisel CP 2050, a pair of those, and the Vatterstad NZ Extreme 1425 cultivators. We've got the PW 112, a pair of those plows. We have the Amazon Citan 15001 seeder. We have a trio of those. And we also have a pair of Kinsey 409 Blue Drive planters. We've got the Samson Agro SBH 436 slurry applicator boom arm and the FW 212 TD Profi fertilize and lime spreader. We also have the Cote PQ 32 slurry tanker. We have the Condor Endurance 2 self-propelled fertilizer and liquid herbicide sprayer, as well as the trailed Amazon UX 5201 super fertilizer and liquid herbicide sprayer. We have the Samson Agro US 235 dynamic manure spreader. For harvesters, we have the New Holland CR11. We have the Case IH version in the AF11. And then we also have then a trio of Draper headers for those harvesters. We have access to the Krone Big X 1180 forage harvester, as well as the X-Collect 903 header. For our grass needs, we have the Pottinger HIT 16.18T tedder, as well as the Bergman Shuttle 490S forage wagon. We have the Pottinger Top 1403C windrower, and we have the Samez KDD 941 STH butterfly mower and the Samez KDF 341S front mower. To transport all those bales, we're going to use the Arcusin FSX 6372 bale wagon and the Krone Big Pack 1290 HDP VC to make all of those bales. And then we wrap it up with a bevy of front weights. We've got three 2300 kilogram front weights and one 3300 kilogram front weight. With respect to mods and DLCs, this map does not have any. Now here at our starting farm, we do have our farmhouse with our sleep trigger and Walter. That is the only thing that can't be sold here on this farmland. We can sell all the other buildings without any issues whatsoever. So if you want to completely change this around, you will have that capability. We've got some very large machine sheds with all of our machinery stored within. Do note you will need to come inside the person door in order to then activate the doors that will then open up from the inside. And of course, you will need to own the land in order to open these doors. Lots of machine storage here. Lots of room for expansion. Admiring the shiny floor here. You have ourselves a maintenance trigger, as well as bale and or pallet storage. Then we have our last machine shed, which should hold our tractors. Now, that's a lot more tractors than we had listed here, was it not? Oh, we didn't even look at the large tractor category. We have the Fendt 1050 Vario, the New Holland T8 435 Genesis, the John Deere 8R 410, the Massey Ferguson 9S 425, the Valter S 416, and the John Deere 9R 640. I gotta apologize. I got some major sinus congestion going on here. And, well, between that and all the meds I'm taking to deal with that congestion, I'm not always fully up to speed with my mental faculties at the moment, it appears. So here we have our start farm, and that is surrounded by field 1. One of the smaller fields on the map. And if we just loop over here, just bear with me, it's going to take a little bit of time because this is a massive map. Are we moving slow? No. You can see how fast we're moving once we get down here down the ground, but we're trying to traverse probably a map and a half's worth of distance here. We're going to have farmland ID 14. This is going to be a secondary buyable farm. This can have everything sold on the farm other than the water tower, should you choose to buy that and want to completely redo it. Farmland ID 19, again, is owned at the start, and that's where we're going to find our animals. Start out with our chicken coop. Right, so we have our feed. We have our egg spawn point, and we're going to find our buy point for our chickens. We start out with 1,600 out of 2,000 chickens. And then we might as well just talk about our cows here. We have 335 out of 353 cows. We have our milk. We have our straw bale trigger. Inside, we're going to find our food trough. We have our slurry point. This is going to be a feeding robot facility also. So we can just bring loose hay, straw, and silage, as well as mineral feed. We've got our pigs. We have 321 out of 400 pigs. We have our food trough. And that just leaves our sheep next. Slurry for our pigs. We start out with 76 out of 76 sheep. We have our food. And we're going to have our wool or goat milk spawn point. Now, if we loop to the north, we'll come up here to Farmland ID 15, which is where we're going to find our biogas plant. We have 2 large 3-sided bunkers. We have 2 digesters here. We're going to bring our slurry there, and we're going to get our digestate out on that side. And then I guess let's talk about our sell points and productions. We've got a farmer's market sell point located right here. And then right beside that, we're going to find our bakery production. We're just going to head south. We'll loop back around. Ben's just hanging out there. Farmland ID 23. And we're coming down here to our dairy. So we have our dairy sell point. We have our canning factory. Production. And then we have our dealership. So we're going to be buying plenty of big machinery here on this map. And this is where we're going to need to come. And hopefully we don't warp through the wall. There we go. Sorry, I got fast move on, and sometimes you just warp in things. So, pretty decent area for our vehicles to spawn because we will be buying pretty large machinery. And then we do have our dealer trigger also located right here. Further south along the western road, we're going to find our Taylor and a gas station. We have our animal dealer. We're going to be able to buy slurry, buy manure. We can buy lime here. We can also sell our bales and buy our animals. Then south of field 11, we're going to find one of our grain sell points. Let's go ahead and loop around here. And at this point, we're going to need to make our way all the way across the map in order to get over to the eastern side. And while we're making this trek, let me tell you about how this map's going to perform on lower end systems. I don't know, because this map wouldn't load on my low end test system. Farm Sim would crash at the generating textures or compiling textures aspect of loading the map up. So I never really got the map loaded up, which makes me wonder if this map could even be on console if it was allowed, because, well, we know consoles have basically integrated graphics. I will say the map performs fairly well on my system. I do occasionally have stutters or just hangs, and then suddenly everything frees back up. I don't really know what's going on there. And of course, this map will have extremely long game saves as a result of its very, very large file size for its game save. We've got another grain sell point here, a lime buy point, south of field 12. We made our way up the eastern side of the map. We're going to eventually come to farmland ID 18. And I believe that's where our museum is going to be located. Yep, there's their museum. And then right across the street from the museum, we're going to find another gas station. We've already talked about what's going to be required to build that museum up. We got another grain sell point here. And then tucked off the road a bit. There, it just, like I said, it just hung for no apparent reason. We have our rope factory. And then up here by farmland ID 13, we have our Cooper for barrels and other such. We have our warehouse to buy goods and sell finished goods. We also have another lime buy station. And then let's make our way back across the northern part of the map to get back over to the northwest corner. As you can see, this map isn't flat. We do have large rolling hills on these fields. I can only imagine how long it would take you to harvest this cotton field. Yeah, we had a little hitch again. We're gonna find our oil mill here. Again, kind of set way back off the road. To the north of that, we're gonna find our another line buy point and a sell point. Here we have our carpentry, our cement factory, and then David's just hanging out over there. And I think this is going to bring us back to where we started taking a look at productions and sell points with our bakery and our farmers market. And that is basically Kansas 16X. I'd love to know your thoughts down in the comments below with respect to these huge maps, 16X size maps. Is it something that you are willing to play on? Is it something that you're looking forward to playing on? And until next time, happy farming.